Welcome back to this live session for Friday, last day of trading week, first session of the day. Beginning with this session here on Xauusd as well as dollar yen. Both instruments currently having significant trend, and looking at the market to see that potential trading opportunity for this session here on gold as well as on dollar yen. Thanks for joining here, guys. Looking at the market, we see there is a significant trend going on in the market. So let's look at the market to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. The first step is to look for the multiple time frame analysis, and also we had previous trade that we have opened and closed, and also we'll be discussing in that session. That's how we can learn and grow as a trader. Hope that you guys are ready for a big session coming up. Looking at first of all gold and starting with the daily chart. What we can see on the daily time frame, this is bull market, and in that bullish market structure, the market is trending, creating series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market structure. Looking at the price action, it's a strongly bull market, and in that bullish market, the price is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low. So looking at first of all monthly chart to see how the market is evolving here in that market. So looking at monthly perspective here in this market, the monthly price action on gold is bullish. We can see the price is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market structure. Now in that uptrending market, if we look at the overall picture in this market, we can see that it is in a long-term bullish impulse. So starting from this level, we have seen that move pullback, and we can see another move pullback. Currently the market is in another impulsive phase. So the phase is absolutely important, because this is the phase where we know that in relation to the trend on the bigger picture where the market is at. So you can see that from the monthly chart here on gold, which is showing up that this market is long-term bullish. Starting with this monthly important support level, the price is maintaining this uptrending market structure, which is showing that the price is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market. So this is the third month that the market is, there's a smaller bullish candle followed by medium bullish candle, followed by, we can see there is a bigger bull candle here in that market, which is a bigger bullish impulsive move back to the upside on the monthly, showing up that the price is maintaining that uptrending market structure. So looking at weekly chart on gold, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is where the market structure is bullish. Starting from this support level, this is the move that we can see on the weekly, which has now quite a few weeks significantly bullish. If we look at, guys, here, this is the 9th week, gold is showing up to be bullish, and this week we are almost nearly to the end of the week. Are you going to see a pullback, or we could say that continuation? This is what we are looking at currently. This is the biggest move of this whole week. If we look at this 9th week, this is the biggest volatility this week. So far the market has made nearly to 3,595 pip move on this single week, which is a pretty big move on a single week in comparison to the previous week. We look at almost double the volatility this week so far. So that is where the market is currently, in a bullish impulse. If we look at the daily chart, the market is showing up to be bullish here, and where this is the daily price action, where there is a daily support in that area, which is showing that the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure, where there is a series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market structure as well. So the market structure from the bigger picture as well as smaller picture, we see the market is bullish, and we could see that potential trend continuation here in that market. So looking at the 4-hour chart on the lower time frame, we can see the market is also maintaining this uptrend here in that area. So lower time frame, if we look at the 4-hour and further lower time frame, we can see that intraday perspective, it is bullish, and we could see the market continue to rise back here to create a new higher high in that market. So looking at again 1-hour chart, this is what you can see, guys. The previous session there was a breakout structure to this key important support level. Now the market started to move again, pushing back again in the major direction of the trend. So that's where we can see the market is in a bullish impulse, which is showing up that this market is breaking above here to the major direction of the trend, so which is showing up the price continue to rise here to create a new higher high in that market. This is where there is a, if we look at, this is the initial move back to this resistance line. This is the daily resistance level, and from that zone the price slowly building that momentum back below here to this intraday support level in that market. And that is where, if we look at the 15-minute chart, that the market is, this is intraday impulse that expecting the market to drop down here and then to return again in the direction of the trend. So that being said, we are looking at here, if we look at, this is a structure that we have seen in the beginning. There was a breakdown, and then the market has broken back above again with this movement, expecting the price to come back for a deeper pullback, and that's where we will be looking at this market. I hope that you guys are ready for another trading day. We are looking at, it's the best way possible to enter the bigger trade, as we already have discussed quite a few times, that the biggest way to the largest win comes from entering into the market from a very important area of value. So I hope that the stream is on. Can you say yes when you're in the live? Thanks for joining here. And this is where, as previous daily move, you guys have seen that was significant, and today's price as well, the market is in a impulsive move back to the upside, where the market is in a bullish impulse from this support level, expecting this market continue to trend. And this is the current bullish channel that we can see in this market, where the price action is showing up to be upside here in that market. This is the previous significant level that you can see. The market tested this level multiple times. So you look at that. This is the resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, which is turning support here, support here. And from that resistance turn support, expecting the market to potentially trend and then reject again back above to the major direction of the trend. That's what I'm looking at for an entry in this market. We are looking at the price action for an entry opportunity. As soon as we see suitable entry, we'll be looking into this entry. And the most important part in this entry is to look at a key level. If you guys look at, this is the current support level that has tested and rejected again from that same level. So this is also an imbalance in the market, and from that imbalance, what we can expect here, that the price to possibly to retest again, fill that zone, and then revert again back above here in that area. So looking at the lower time frame and combining with the higher time frame is where the entry in this market. Now, before we look at that further entry opportunity, also you guys have seen our previous trade that was opened in that area. So looking at the previous two significant entry in the market, which has still moving almost in the same direction. This is where we have opened our first position. If you look at in that area, the market has made its move significantly back to the upside. And what point that we looked at in this market, if you look at that, this is where there is a liquidity grab that you can see, and that liquidity sweep that you can see here, the market has broken out of the structure. This is the liquidity sweep here. The price has broken two important support level on gold, and that support, when we saw the price has broken back below, created this order block, rejected back above here, followed by a pullback, has given another entry in this market. Straight away the market has bounced off that level, and this is what we are looking for this market to enter, this kind of opportunity where the market has tested the low, grabbed that liquidity, and the market return again back in the major direction of the trend. So if you look at that move that we have entered, if you guys look at the previous entry, this is the zone where there was a break of structure, and that break of structure has given the market a momentum, and that momentum is where, if you look at, this is an important support here, which has grabbed that liquidity and rejected back again, followed by this pullback. And here is second steps of liquidity sweep. Every time the market grab liquidity, in fact, it creates a new momentum for further move back or down, depending on the trending opportunity here. Now, if you look at the same kind of breakdown here, we have opened second trade in our NY session from the same level. If you look at the previous entry that we looked at during this move in NY session, here was the next move that we have opened exactly from that level. With this bounce back to the upside, the market has rejected again in the direction of the major trend. So how do you identify a level that can give you high probability trade setup? This is what we are looking at in this live session. The market is significantly bullish. If you look at the lower time frame, you can see that there is no price action that can show us currently a long-term bearish move, which is creating series of higher high and higher low. And current level they're looking at on the lower time frame is the current support here, that we can look for that entry and the return again back in the direction of the trend. Welcome back to this live session. We see also the dollar yen moving a lot in this lower time frame, where the market is showing up. In dollar yen, the market structure is significant and expecting the dollar yen potentially to trend again back here in that market. With that on gold, the market is currently on a sideways market. So as we see that the market is trending, there is an order block also has created previously during the Asian session. We showed there was a breakup structure on gold, and that breakup structure has given again another momentum here during this Asian session that we have seen, which has moved the market a lot. Current the market movement here, if you guys look at, this is where the support level, current support level, and in that current support, if you look at, this is the support here, bounce of that area. There is another support. We saw there was a bounce of that level, expecting the market to break further below, grab the liquidity, and then to trend again to the major direction where there is a high area of value. And in that high area, we're expecting the market to trend further down here, where the price to test and then to reject again to the direction of the trend. Here is the current support level where the market to test that low. Now it is currently in a bullish impulse if we look at, and in that bullish impulse, 4-hour candle close in few minutes ago, and we can see the price slowly trying to come down for a pullback where you can now find our entry. This is in an uptrending market where the price is maintaining that move back to the upside here in that area where the lower time frame price action expecting it to break further below to this key level of support with a long wick doji. And in that long wick doji, here is the support, and the market rejected again in the direction of the trend. Lower time frame market is showing up to be here in that area for another bullish impulse that looking at for the price to break below further to this support level, and after break of this low, expecting the market to test and then to return again back above to the major direction of the trend, looking for deeper drop. Here we see already there is a rejection, and this is a key support level, and there is an order block. This is what the most important part here in that movement that we can see on gold, which is an order block, and that order block is where the market could retest and then return again so that it remain in this trending market. And that is what looking at this market for the price to test and then reject again back above here in that market. Here's the important level that you can see. This is a resistance line here in that area, which is turning support here, and the resistance turn support giving a very high probability for this market to test and then revert again back in the major direction of the trend. This is where we're looking at in this market for the price to show up, that the price to continue to rise back in the trend. So here is a bigger picture perspective that the market is in a bullish trend and currently on a sideways. So this is a little narrower consolidation in that area on gold that you can see, and in that consolidation where there is a high probability that the price to test and then to return again back in the direction of the trend. Here is a support level, and we see that the short-term possible break below, as it is a long-term bull market waiting for the price to show up to this daily support level. We see series of lower high with a significant zone here, which is resistance and support in that area. Waiting on the market to break below here to that support level and then to return again back in the direction of the trend. This is where you can see the market is showing up, where there is a key support level. Where the market is approaching that key support level, which is a very important zone that you can see in this market. And in that key support level, where there is a high area of value, expecting the market to return again. As we see that break below, we are expecting another entry shortly after for this potential bounce of that level. Welcome. Hello, Elk. Thanks for joining here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Now, where we are looking at that level that you can see, if we look at the bigger picture perspective, the market is on a zone where we could see that rejection or we could see deeper pullback. Looking at again from the fresh perspective, as the market is having that trend back below here in that area. So here is the price is approaching that level. And we could see the market even coming down further down below to this support level. Two distinct level of support that we could see the market to test and then return again in the direction of the trend. Looking at that zone where there is a support and also there is another support here, and two important support that approaching the market to test that level, and that is where for the market to come down and then reject to the direction of the trend. Here's the market is approaching that key support level, expecting the market to trend and then to reject back above here in that area. We're looking at that support level, and that is being said as the market is approaching this key support level to this intraday support. We are looking at the market to fill that zone and then to reject again back here in that area. So with a series of higher low in this market, we are looking at the price to potentially trend, and this is a very important intraday support level. Which is a key level that we are looking at in this market for the price to potentially drop down back below here to that support level and then to reject again in the direction of the major trend. We see this is a trend line here, also lower time frame, expecting the market to break down below to this support level or even coming back to this order block, and that is where the potential move that we are looking in the market to give us an entry for the bigger picture perspective here in that market. So that being said, where the lower time frame price action expecting that to break below, to test that low and then continue to trend down further in that area. With a series of lower high, the market to trend and break down below to this key support level where there is a high area of value, and which is important resistance turning support here, and that resistance turn support expecting the market to break below, possibly to test that order block or extension back below in that market. With this lower time frame breakup structure, waiting on the market to test back below, to break that low to that support level for the market to continue to rise back and then to turn in the direction. Whereas we are looking at, this is where there is a series of higher low And with that series of higher low, the price to potentially to trend back in the direction of the major trend. And that is where, looking in this market, this is a key resistance line where there is a high area of value. So looking at the lower time frame, we look at the 4-hour and the 1-hour perspective here in that market. This is currently from this level, there is a stronger breakout, pullback, expecting it to have a rejection again in the direction of the trend. And looking at that lower time frame, if you look at the 5-minute chart, here is a support level, expecting it to break out again in the direction of the major trend. For our close coming in, this is a newly open candle on the 4-hour time frame, and with a recent support been created on the intraday. This is the current 4-hour support, which is 3446.0, and 15 minutes bullish engulfer has created from that level on the lower time frame. Again, we can see this is current recent support level here in that market, and this is the support that looking for possible buying opportunity in that market, where series of higher low, a bullish impulse, expecting the market to trend and then continue to rise here back to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Welcome. Well, also you can see dollar yen is creating significant trend in that area, where the market is also showing up to be bullish here in that market. There's a lower time frame breakup structure that you can see in that area, which is a 15 minutes bullish pin bar, which we could see that the market continue to trend to the direction of the major trend, and that is what we're looking at on the lower time frame for the market to trend and return again back above here in that market. So which is a support level, expecting it to break out and then continue to trend back up here in that area. Here we are looking at the market to trend, which is showing up that this is a significant bullish market structure from this support level, and that is where the price action showing up in the major direction of the trend. We are looking to see that the market structure is maintaining that uptrend here in that lower time frame. So there's a break of structure and the price is slowly building that momentum back here in that area, and where the market is creating series of higher low, which is showing up that the market to trend back here in that area where there is a high area of value, which is this is a recent level of resistance line, and in that resistance we could see the price to fill that gap, going back up to fill that gap and potentially to create a new higher high in this market. Ready for potential another entry from that level, waiting on the market to test the lower shadow and then to return again back in that area where there is a high area of value. There's a short-term possible buying opportunity coming on gold and expecting the market to possibly to return again after a retest here. On the 1 minute chart that you can see, there is a bullish impulse in that area where the 4-hour level is at that zone here on the lower time frame, and looking at this market to potentially trend further down back below and then to return again back here in that market. So looking at that area, that the market to show up, possibly to have another rejection back above here in that market. So if we look at this market structure here, this is currently showing up to be bullish. As the market has broken above here, we see there is a break of support again. We might be able to find a short-term bullish entry opportunity for this bounce in that market. And 1 hour candle close in few minutes. There is a 1 hour liquidity sweep that we can see. So we'll be looking for a bullish entry shortly after. If you guys ready for an entry. So this is the current recent support level that looking at in this market to give us a possible buying opportunity for short-term bounce in this market. Here is the move that you can see the market to potentially break down further back below, and after break of this low, here is what we are looking for this market to trend and then to continue to rise. We see that there is a break of structure here in that area. Looking for bullish entry with 65 to 70 pip stop loss below this level. TP target to this high here. We will not be taking a very big move here as there is a range in this market. So we will be entering by market here on gold from this level, nearly to 100 pip stop loss with a tight, of course, risk management, and expecting the market to give us suitable upside momentum here for this move. So buying at 4363.90, stop loss at 4353.08, and TP target placing above this level here at 4377.61. Placing a buy on gold and expecting the market to trend back above here in that market to continue to rise in the direction of the trend. So placed a buy on gold for this possible short-term upside here, which is a bullish trade. And as this is a bull market, we are expecting the price to bounce off that level to the direction of the major trend. This is where there is a lower time frame price action that are expecting the market to trend and then to return again back in the direction of the major trend. This is the lower time frame price action that you can see that 1 hour candle closing and expecting it to potentially bounce off that level to the upside. There is a 1 minute rejection that you can see on the lower time frame now, and another liquidity sweep. We're going to see a rejection back. There's a drop down, and this is an order block here. So sudden drop here, expecting to reject back again. The possibility, as this is a long-term bull market, the market has broken to that order block, which is a good sign that if the market reject from here, we might see a trend above here in that market, which is going back in the direction of the trend. This is where the market structure is showing up, where there is a high probability trading opportunity in this market. Expecting trend continuation. There is a liquidity sweep here in that area, which is showing up the market to potentially continue for deeper liquidity sweep here. The market on a very important key support level where there is a possibility for an upside rejection here in that market, where expecting the price to continue to trend here to the upside, potentially to create a new higher high. Where there is a support level, the market is showing up to be potentially sudden liquidity sweep here, looking for that rejection on the lower time frame here in this market. So the 5 minutes candle closing here, and along with also the 1 hour candle closing. We see the rejection coming up here. So bullish 1 hour candle close. Getting the partial rejection. Expecting potential rejection here, and it formed an inverted head and shoulders where in case the market breaking below further, we will be re-entering the same trade. We have a little bit of gap here from this support. So 2 long week doji and getting that potential reaction back above. So expecting this market to break the swing high. And if it is breaking out of that level here, this is where you could see the market to continue back up to the direction of the trend. Looking for possible rejection here, we can see the price on this support level. And that rejection that you can see the market continue back up, where the high area of value that we are looking to see in this market. And the market in a range, so this is where we can see the price not being able to get too strongly rejection, as there is a range here. But that range that you can see here could break shortly after potentially stronger retest. So the market might break the support where we'll be re-entering if the price break below here. Might be coming to the order block. So you are out with the trade. We will be re-entering as soon as we see the market break that order block here. So this is where the price has come back to this 1 hour support, and it just has crossed that low exactly at our level that we place the stop loss here, and the market is potentially to but I think this is where it's coming to that order block, the 5 minutes chart and the 1 minute. So 1 hour support that you can see the market at in that area, where from this support, if we look at, there is a 10 EMA, the price is approaching, and in the 10 EMA, as the market is breaking that current session's low, potential rejection from that level is high probability. And looking to see the market to test that level here, and with that retest, that expecting that the price to possibly to react back again in that direction where there is a high probability that the price to continue to rise back here in that market. We might see that further trend continuation here, which is there's a liquidity sweep from this support level, getting a reaction here in that area to test and then to return again where there is a high area of value, and the market trying to trend back up where looking at that level, if you guys look at, you can see lower time frame price action from this support level creating an upside momentum back above here in that area, and the price is overextended below here. So you will be looking for again position from that level, keeping stop loss below this low, targeting to the high of this move for a rejection back above from this key support level. This is the second trade that we will be looking to see the market to trend. It's a very tight stop loss at the moment, looking to see the market to break to that intraday resistance line. So looking for the next entry on Xauusd for potential with a very tight stop loss, as this is a long-term bull market expecting potential rejection from this key support area to the upside. As long as the market is going up, we are on the trade. If the drop down here, it's a very tight stop loss again for any rejection. And I'm on the second trade on gold, expecting it to revert again. Here we say some rejection back to the direction of the trend, where there is a bullish impulsive move back to the upside here in that market. So where is that? There is an inverted head and shoulder that you can see, and that inverted head and shoulder, expecting it to reject again. If it drops again, will be exiting as fast as you can, as this is a long-term bull market. So if the market breaks that support, then we will be looking into entry again as soon as we see the market has prepared for another bounce. This is the level that we are looking at in this market to potentially reject again and then return. We see there is a rejection candle potentially be forming, expecting a stronger rejection here for a possible reversal back above. So you see that back to back two significant doji. So having that move where exiting the previous one's entry is the key. So look for possible rejection back above. So TP target here set at 34366.71. Would like to see that breaking above for another new higher high. The market is trending, the market is moving, where expecting it to break out to, there is a lot of imbalance here in that direction. So if the market reject from that level, we could see the imbalance to fill, or breaking again back below, depending on how this candle is closing. So there might be a potential reversal pattern here. That's what we are expecting for this move to happen, unless we see the market has created that momentum. Would like to see the market to break that high, and if it managed to break out, you would see the price to reach back to that 4366.7 level. So you see the break that you're looking to see, and the price is not trying to build that momentum here. Come on, there is a So there is another break. Now how the market structure is trying to form here. So we're looking to see five-minute candle close with a big long doji. So potentially could be that the market to remain you want to see that the market structure is bullish from here. So you see there is a very stronger structure has formed here, and the multiple liquidity sweep in that area. The price action is showing up to be potentially has broken down back below here. So we are still on this trade, but there might be further bearish pressure here. Market might drop back below further down here. So this is where from the lower time frame we can see the market may break below here to this long-term support level here. So you're looking at for deeper pullback, and once we see the market has, if you look at, it's a very stronger breakdown, so you could see the price to continue to come back below to this long-term support level in that market. So we're waiting to see the price to potentially come back further below for another test in that area. And once we see the market has managed to break below and prepare for another move, we will be looking for further trading opportunity throughout the session. Is coming up very soon, another live session in few hours. I'll see you there again, guys, in NY session. Would like to see some bigger move as the market is coming for this deeper drop here, deeper pullback. The price may potentially to react back again as it is breaking from that structure here. So that being said, thank you for joining here. It's breaking below now. We might see the market to come back here to this order block before it reverse again back. We'll see you guys again in our next lesson, next live